But yeah, had to get that off. We had to talk about that. But now let's get into the real reason that we're all here. Let's talk about the spring lineup of anime. I started off a couple podcasts ago saying that compared to winter had quantity. Winter had a ton of anime. Well, I watched about 20 anime in winter. But compared to spring had more quality. There was more smaller amounts of anime that gave you a good amount of substance that was like, okay, you might not have had as many as winter 2021, but you had substance. And so I want to start off with, I know each of us have a different show that we watch. I know for sure, I remember Panda, you were pushing the fruit baskets agenda very much. And I know it ended. So of course, that's one of the reasons I brought you on. But also Spicy, I know there was a couple anime that you were watching. So I wanted to get us all together to basically talk about the lineup. So I'm going to pick an anime, and I think my anime is probably the most obvious one that I want to talk about, but I want to hear from y'all. So Steve, actually, I want you to start with the anime that you enjoyed the most this season and the one that you want to break down. And it could be a complete breakdown if you want to talk about it. Literally, this is why I wanted to do the podcast, because I know there were series that were out that I feel this should get more love, and we'll go into more detail about that. But your top series, so give us the breakdown on it. And I know what yours is going to be.
Yeah, I know you got Vivi. I feel like Panda's got Fruit Basket. Spicy probably is going to take Tokyo Revengers. So I'll take the Odd Taxi route.
And I figured as much. So with that, go ahead and break down Odd Taxi, ScubaSteve.
So Odd Taxi is a show about, I guess, like animals. Now finishing it is
like, right, because the ending,
say, but you don't want to. Yeah, but it's about animals and everything like that. So you get your vibes of BNA or B-Stars, Aggressive. It's basically that type of animals in a living world.
Except there's nobody giving her wolf head in it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had to clarify because when you mentioned B-Stars, people automatically take that scene and run with it because they think it's gonna be some sex.
Like that's the only scene that was in B-Stars.
Yeah.
Right, like that was the one scene in
that's
B-Stars.
That's not even what the whole series is about.
You know people know how people do it, Spicy. You know how people are.
Rule 34. I know. I get it.
But basically it revolves around this taxi driver. He's a walrus, and pretty much I want to say he's kind of like entwined into this murder that happened. So he picked up someone. The first episode, basically, there's a missing girl, and he picked her up or whatever. He rode with her and dropped her off. And then later on, there's other people that were like, "Hey, you had that girl in your taxi," and they're kind of like inquisitive about it, but they're not diving deep into it. So it gives you that feel like they had something to do with the girl missing. So you got that going on. Then you got a guy that's a known gangster that hops in his taxi. And then after that, another guy that wants to be social media famous. He takes a picture, he takes a selfie. And of course, the known gangster is in the back of the selfie because they kind of just cross paths. So he goes viral. And now he's like obsessed with going viral. So it kind of follows these kind of characters, and they all kind of get entwined with each other. And basically, our taxi driver is just basically figuring out things. He's becoming the mastermind and putting these things together because he's like, all these people need to, you know what I'm saying? With the gangster, he's like, you need to pay your dues for what you've done. You need to pay for what you've done. So he's pretending like he's on their side, but he's really trying to get them justice. You know what I'm saying? Get them arrested and things like that. And that's the most I can do without going too deep into it, because like the twist at the end is like, And
I mean, if you want to talk about the twist, go for it. Because like I said, everybody knows we're reviewing spring 2021. So at this point, if they haven't watched it and they're listening to the podcast, hey, this will have spoilers. So warning, we're going to talk all about this. No. I waited to the end of spring. I want to talk about all this because that twist was wild. And I wasn't expecting it. That shit had me all types of twists. So I want to talk about it, Steve. Let's go.
Oh, okay. So then let's just dive into the conversation.
Don't be shy.
So at the very end, really like 2 episodes, I started to pick up on that because they hinted at things. And I'm one of those people that can't just watch a show. I always nitpick. I mean, not nitpick, but try to figure stuff out. And that's just me in general. So I heard them a couple of times where they was like, Otokawa, he doesn't see things. Like when they did the brain thing, and he was like, he doesn't see things clearly. And I was like, And then there was another scene where they talked about the fact that he crashed into the lake with his parents, and then at the end he started going over the moon. And I was like, oh, okay, this is like a, you know what I'm saying? And throughout the whole series, he was afraid of water. So like throughout the whole series, he talks about maybe in my past life I might have drowned, and then they mentioned this with this kid and being abused by adults. So I started to figure out like, okay, like he's living in like I wanted to say it was an isekai. That's what I was thinking. Like he got put into another world. But
I thought that at first. Sorry to interrupt, Steve, but yeah, I thought that shit at first, and I was just like, nigga, did he get reborn as a walrus?
Right.
Yeah. He said in his past life, maybe I must have had something happen in the water. So I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe it's like a reincarnation or isekai type thing. That's what I was thinking. But you know, he basically after they pull him out the water, everybody is human. And it's like, I don't know if he just snapped out of it, but he was like, we were basically seeing it through his point of view.
He has, I think they describe it as visual agnosia, which is where I think it's like he could only see them as animals because he's like really, so he has like a lot of social anxiety. And like when they were describing his story, you could see everyone in the form of humans, but until they got to a point where he was in a hospital because his mom was a drunk and his dad was a drunk that cheated on his mom. And I think I want to say his mama killed his dad because he said dad's in the back sleep. So that nigga ain't sleep, my guy.
And why would he be in the back seat, not in the front seat?
That nigga was dead, and his mom committed a murder-suicide, but Otokawa is the only one who survived. And so when he crashes into the water again, I just took over Steve's story. I'm sorry.
You good? We all watched it, so
right.
When he took over, when he went over the bridge with the money, he woke up in the ambulance and found, we figure out that he just sees people as animals. They're not actual animals. And I'm gonna be like straight with y'all. Y'all know it was kind of fine in his human form, and so
so you was feeling him in his human form?
I was like, no, but like here's the thing. I was like, the nigga was talking the entire scene, like this nigga a rapper or some shit. What the fuck is he saying? I was like, okay, so you're a rapper for real. You got bars.
He had more bars than Hypnosis Mike.
Oh my God, don't bring up that.
Yeah, more bars than that.
When that girl said, call him the rapper, I was like, bitch, I swear to God, I said that in the last episode. All this man do is talking rhymes. But it's like, it was so fucking weird to me. And then I found out who the fuck the murderer is. I'm just
I wanted to talk about that because
I figured that out like early, and I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Don't tell me it's her." And I had figured that out, but then it started just going away from it with all the other stuff. So it was really the end credits when they showed who the murderer was, and I was thinking it was already over. I was like, "Oh, okay, the show's over. Maybe that just."
I was like, "We're not gonna find out who murdered old girl."
Point right.
And then they get back in the car, and I feel like they left it open ended. Like
they did. So one thing I give Our Taxi wrapped up its series pretty damn well. They answered every single question because it came to episode 13. I'm like, we don't know who the killer is. We don't know who shot the bamboo the guy, but they literally cleared up everything, and I was like, that's how you end your series. And had the audacity to leave it open if they wanted to do a season 2. And I said, they did that perfectly. And
there's no source material either.
What would they do with the season 2 though? Because it's like it left on a cliffhanger, but the only mystery from that is like what happened to Otokawa. Because like I think I read that the reason Otokawa didn't recognize we don't know if he told who it was or not, told who it actually was. Well, he didn't know her from her human because he only could see her as a cat. Right. But I was just like, this bitch killed her like this, like choked the shit out of her, and I was just so confused. Like I had to rewind. I was confused. I was just thrown the fuck off. I rewinded like this bitch killed her.
No, yeah, I rewinded it a couple of times because I was just like, there's a lot of shit I felt like I missed. And so when she was talking on the phone, and then all of a sudden it switched to a scene and she's choking the bitch out, I was like, wait, it was you. And I was like, wow, like you wanted to be an idol that bad, bitch? Like you killed the next bitch?
It's not that deep, baby.
I truly think that they could come out with another one because when she was talking to her mom on the phone, she was all like, yeah, so now I gotten rid of technically 2. And she said, I might want to do, go a solo act. So it made me think,
which means that she would have to go after the white hair chick, which was the leader.
No, the white hair chick got arrested.
She got arrested.
Oh, right. So she had to take care of the other cat.
Some dumbass shit though. Like, why would y'all move a fucking body? Like, you didn't touch it.
You didn't touch it. You didn't do nothing.
All you had to fucking say was, I came to talk to her. And if they saw your fingerprints weren't on the fucking body, obviously they would know that you were going to be safe. People don't fucking think. Guess what I'm gonna do if I find a dead body? I'm gonna call the police.
Yep.
Well, no, it depends. Cause no, wait a minute. I'm a nigga. I forgot for a second. Never mind. But if I was in their shoes, why did y'all first thought to get rid of the shit where y'all know y'all didn't kill the
right?
The reason why I think that was because her intentions were to go in there and kill her.
She was
so when she got there and she was already dead, she just
I think her,
but nobody knows her intentions but her. Like she just said, "Can we talk?" Didn't she take a taxi there?
Yep.
And if she would have said, I took a taxi there, the taxi driver would tell her, and you would have known from the time of death that she was dead by the time she got there. Like, I've watched enough Law and Order.
Law and Order,
Not for real. What the fuck be happening? It was like, y'all wanted to get rid of the body and cut the bitch up into pieces and throw it in the river. Y'all could have, first of all, you don't get rid of a body. Just get a tub, fill it with some acid and lye, and put the body in there, and it'll burn the fucking body up. And then take the bones and put them in the river or some shit with some weights, some fucking weights. It's not that hard.
It's very easy to dispose of a body.
It's easier to just call the police.
Maybe I shouldn't say it out loud. I'm sorry, podcast.
Yeah, I was
ignore my last comment. I apologize. I don't know how to destroy a body, and I don't even know why I thought I did.
But no, I haven't watched this anime yet. But hearing you guys talking about it seems like up my alley. I like those kind of like mystery, whodunit type of series. It makes you like look at everyone's actions and type thing. So I'm gonna have to like watch.
The one thing that I think what made Odd Taxi a pretty good watch was that since it all revolved around our main character of Oadawa. Literally, his connection. It was like I forgot how to say it, when you know somebody and know somebody and know somebody. Thank you. 6 degrees of separation. Because literally from Oadawa, he touched everybody in a sense, and like he saw the killer, didn't know. He saw the chick that was getting played with the drugs that actually ended up liking him, which was all types of crazy stuff. He saw the gangster. He saw his doctor. He literally saw everybody in the back of his cab. And that's what made it so crazy, because he was connected through all of this without even knowing at one point. And I think the way they live in the story, and like how we were able to, that one episode where it was about the gamer and how crazy it was that he had been, messed up his whole life, never had a luck. And then he finally had something good. And Oadawa rushing to go see his sheep chick messes up his phone and turns him into a complete psychopath. It was just dope that how literally they interwoven everybody into the series, and that they wrapped it up perfectly, because literally at the end of the series, everybody that we were shown in Odd Taxi made an appearance.
Yeah, I was about to say, I want to see everybody's human form, because I was getting mad.
They showed everybody. They showed everybody's human form.
At first, I was like, oh, they're not going to show my man, because what's his name? Kakani? What's his name?
Monkey.
The monkey.
Yeah,
they showed him.
He was digging. But
he was doing construction.
At first, they didn't show him, so I was thinking, oh, they're not going to show my man. He really went through it
over a woman.
And they even showed the bartender lady. Like, they gave her a little scene. It was like they showed everybody in their human form. They wrapped up that enemy pretty damn good. Like, honestly, Odd Taxi is one of those ones that I would put under my belt and be like, I think you should check it out. Like, if anybody asks for like mystery or a little twist of an anime, check it out. Odd Taxi was solid. So, Steve, did you have more? Because we all sort of took over because
I thought that's what we were going to do anyway.
Yeah, that's basically what we're doing, right?
We bring it in. The one person brings it in, and then we all like dive into it. That's what I was talking. But
that's basically what this is. This is a full review.
I think y'all was like actually the fine though. I was just like,
I can't.
Like, I was just pleasantly fucking surprised. Like, kind of fine. Wait a minute.
Good watch though. It was a good watch. I'll be honest. I didn't care for it, Steve. The only reason I watched it was because of you. So because of that, I give you credit, because it wasn't on my radar. I literally was like, I watch Beastars. Just like you said, I watch Beastars. I've seen BNA. I've seen these. It's furries. Do I feel like dealing with another furry show? Not really. So I bypassed it. But Steve literally broke it down on a podcast like almost 2 months ago. It was like, nah, it's about this. First episode had me interested. And I was like, all right, let me watch this first episode. And I watched it. And I was like, hey, this might be a little bit gas. All right, let me watch this. And I told Steve, I was like, I like the binge shows. So I want to binge this whole thing. And so I kept it on the back burner, waited until episode 12. And I told Steve, whole week I'm watching Odd Taxi. And he was like, all right. And I literally watched it. And I was like, hey, this low key was good. Like, I didn't pull from my screen at all. I watched it like 4 hours straight, just sitting there watching like till 2 a.m. And I was like, all right, Steve, you chose a good one. So
I do want to add that opening was fucking fire.
All right. I mean, I'll be honest. At this point, it's my leading opener for spring.
It is.
That's what got me.
Because that shit was just so smooth. And motherfuckers dropping bars so smoothly.
Yes.
I thought old dude's voice actor was on the song for a second.
Man.
He was rapping in the show, but that's not it. So
it was
no. If you watch the opening, like, did you watch like the opening like closely?
Yeah, it changed.
It breaks down the whole show too.
Yeah, it breaks down the entire thing. Yeah. And it just the song was so mellow and smooth. It felt like literally we were listening to like low key, like some lo-fi that was just that accidentally came on the playlist. And it was like that opening was hella chill. And it was just like, damn, like after watching it and listening to it, I had a couple of other openings that I enjoyed, but I literally enjoyed. I got you, Pettit. I literally enjoy Odd Taxi to the point I was like, you know what? This might end up becoming my top song. And I found myself listening to it, and then they played the extended version, I think, in the anime. And I was like, all right.
Yeah. I think for those who don't know, the opening's name is Odd Taxi by Punpi. It's amazing. I would definitely recommend.
Yeah, no, the song was fire. I'm sorry, it was fire. I had a couple other songs on top, but it ended up becoming that song that I was like, you know what, I could really listen to this about 100 times and not be phased by it. So
that's really what got me. I watched Tokyo Avengers, and then after the 2 episodes went off, it said other spring anime, and then Odd Taxi popped up, and I was like, man, and I just pressed play and the music started playing. I was like, oh, okay.
That's just crazy because
that's really what got me.
And then the anime didn't start. The opening started. And when I heard it, I was just like, I remember just bobbing my head like, okay.
I think they played it with on the Crunchyroll Awards when they premiered the trailer. I think they played a snippet of it then. And it looked interesting to me when I saw it. I was like, okay, this looks like cool. It seemed like that mystery vibe to it, but I just never got back to watching it. But now you guys are saying it. Now it's kind of the whole trailer makes sense. So I was like, okay, I may have to go back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to add that to your list, Spicy, because that was I enjoyed that watch. I had no issues with it. Like there's a couple other anime, of course, that I enjoyed throughout spring, but that one I give Steve, my podcast mate, he picked a good one for me to watch, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. So.